What's up, people? Hello.
What's going on?
How's it going, mate? You good?
Yeah, all good. Yourself?
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah. So, how's life?
Busy. Very, very busy. I am 4 to 6 weeks away from becoming a father of two. And just obviously self-inflicted. I'm always doing stuff as well. New projects. I'm always messing about, things like that. On top of house chores, DIY. So, for example, today, actually, get yourself a man that can do both, because today I've not only replaced an extractor fan in the bathroom, but I also made a batch of scones as well. So, you know. But yeah, no, not bad. Busy.
Yeah, man. So, obviously, I've been busy with the stuff behind me. Got the new terrarium wall just put up. Did
Nice.
that a couple of days ago.
Yeah, looks good.
So, yeah, it looks a lot better. Not tidy in here now. Just quite tidy up all the boxes and stuff. But, room wasn't built in a day.
Yeah, of course.
So, we'll just see who's in the chat a second. So, we've got
no worries.
Alex. How you doing, Alex?
Hello, Alex.
Gary. Yeah, that's very true. Always written on Riddler.
What's on, Gary?
How we doing, Paul?
Mr. Monitors himself.
Yep. Who else? Oh, Andrew, you're here. How we doing, Dan? And Michael. How we doing, my friend? And hello, Fee. Hello, Ben. Nice to see everyone here, actually. And hello, Alex. I know you wanted to send me a few questions earlier. I'll ask later on. And Natalia, how are we doing?
Hello, Natalia.
That's all the introductions done in the early gang. So for the listeners who don't know you, just give us a little background on what you do and who you are.
I am Andrew, Riddler Reptiles. What do I do? Not a lot, to be fair. Well, actually, no, I say that. Sometimes it's too much. I've gone through multiple personalities in the reptile hobby. So it started off as a rat keeper stuck in limbo, not sure what I'm doing. And then it turned into a person who's destroying his snake rack. I've managed to get plenty of videos out through that, which is still going, by the way. I'm still working on those ones. I'm the man that doesn't shut up about wanting a Prasinus, a green tree monitor. But yeah, I've got a range of reptiles between royal pythons, milk snake, geckos, monitor lizard, obviously, Ragnar. That's about it, really. I'm a electrician / maintenance technician by trade, which the less said about that, the better. But yeah, that's pretty much in a nutshell what's going on with me, to be fair, mate.
Sweet. Okay, so there's a series of questions we can go into now, or we can go into later on. Actually, we'll go into them now, actually. So I've been sent a list of questions for us both to answer, so we'll take it in turns on answering. So the first one is from Ben from Reptile Chat, and it's dream jobs. So I'll go first on that one. So I'm actually currently working towards my dream job. It's going to take about 5 years, but I want to work in ectofirms with the zoo, or any zoo, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my goal in 5 years. I've got to go back to school, learn my stuff first, then try and get into a zoo working with ectofirms and reptiles, amphibians, invertebrates. Yourself?
Nice. Well, if we're talking reptile hobby, because I've got two. We'll go for the reptile hobby first to keep it relevant. Ideally, I'd quite like to end up doing reptile YouTube, like DIY builds and care, things like that. I quite like the idea of doing that. That would be nice. I'm working towards it, obviously.
I know that.
Wait, I thought these questions were anonymous. Unlucky, broski. And then let's go for a dream job that isn't reptile related. I would go for a fast jet pilot. So if I could be the pilot of a Eurofighter Typhoon or an F-35 or something like that, sign me up. I'd do that for 15 grand a year. I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, I'd be all over that. But yeah, I think those we'll go with those two.
Yeah, so I was looking at the average salary for a zookeeper And I said I'd just take half of that, to be fair, because I just love doing stuff like this. So
Yeah.
it'd be a thing. So yeah, that's that one out of the way. So we're going to the next question. So this is another one from Ben. If you could keep one animal in your collection that isn't your monitors, what would you keep? Oh, I can't.
You're struggling here, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got to say, I think I keep Gus, my bearded dragon, because he was my first reptile as an adult. So, yeah, Gus.
Well, my initial thought, the first one that came to mind was my milk snake. To be fair, I think she's incredible. She's so active. Her new enclosure, which I've just set up this week, video coming soon, shameless self plug. It's just I adore it. Like and her as a snake, she's so active. Like I'm very hands off. I don't get her out, but just the way she moves around the enclosure, and obviously she's stunning as well. But it was between her and the leopard gecko, but then I've got the tokay. No, I'm going to go with the milk snake. Let's stick with the milk snake. Yeah. I think.
Okay, that's I mean, it's a really horrible question because I'd assume rather get rid of the whole collection and keep Diesel than. But yeah. So some more questions. So another one. This is a good one actually. So next question is most favorite and least favorite snake, lizard, amphibian, big cat, sea creature, and food. So I'll let you go first on that one.
What, as in my most favorite and least favorite out of those?
Yeah. So you need to choose. So a favorite snake and a least favorite snake, and so on.
Oh right, I thought it meant as in my favorite is lizard and my least favorite is food.
No. So your most favorite lizard or most favorite? Sorry.
Oh, god damn.
So get some debate going on.
Oh, shit. No, but what? As in the ones that and Natalia. If I tell you what, I came in again the other day, and they are multiplying by the day. It is outrageous, and I don't really know what to do with them. I know the jumping spider has had a couple, but the two that she's eaten, I think, have been replaced by 7 more anyway. So, yeah, that's quite interesting.
This one made me laugh.
Will thinks he's building. So that's his first comment, is it? Okay, I see you, Will. I see you. All right, don't you worry. Do you want to jump in? Because I'm struggling here. Like, right, okay. I think it was...
So my favourite snake in the world, and we had this conversation the other day about big snakes in captivity, but let's just say favourite snake. So my favourite snake is a green anaconda, hands down. Mm-hmm. I know they're big, monstrous, they're just majestic in my eyes. I love them. Mm-hmm. Least favourite snake, I'm sorry to say it, is a corn snake. Mm-hmm. Favourite lizard would have to be melanistic Asian water monitor.
Wonder why.
And least favourite lizard, out of experience, I would say a panther chameleon because they're just grumpy, and he's eyeballing me now. So, favourite amphibia would have to be African bullfrog. Least favourite would have to be Pac-Man frog, even though I own both. Big cat. So my favourite big cat has to be Siberian tiger. Least favourite cat, or big cat, would have to be a lynx. Favourite sea creature had to be an orca. Least favourite would have to be a clownfish.
A clownfish?
Yeah, I don't know. They don't. I don't know. Sorry if everyone hates me right now, but they just don't appeal to me.
Right.
Favourite food would have to be a good old doner kebab. Least favourite food would have to be. We're going to take away. Let's just go with. I don't like Indian that much, so we'll go with Indian. I don't mind it. But
yeah.
Go for a doner over a tikka, you know.
All right. My favourite snake. Let's just go Brazilian rainbow boa. I'll go for Brazilian rainbow boa for my favorite snake.
Yeah,
Least favorite. Do you know what? That's a tough one, man.
it's a good question.
It is a good question, but it's tough because I can't think of any that I'm like, oh, I don't like. Not that I don't like it, but maybe my least favorite. I'm really not sure. I don't know. I'm going to skip that one for now.
That was my favorite, mate.
Favorite lizard, as my introduction said, is the green tree monitor. Least favorite lizard. Right, I don't actually have them, right? But purely because I can't imagine the sort of aggro they give you is morning geckos. I think they're beautiful, right? But I think if they're multiplying basically by the day, that'd be hard work. I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. All right. I'm getting a bit of hate right now for the whole corn snake thing, so I'm going to retract my statement. Right.
No, it's not hate. It's just a question. Don't worry about that.
I'll give you a reason why in a minute, Natalia. So you say favorite lizard,
amphibian. I've never had any amphibians, but I'm going to go with, what's my favorite amphibian? I do quite like the red-eyed tree frogs. They're quite cool. Least favorite. Oh, fuck knows. Oh, excuse me.
Right, you carry
on. Oh God. Again, I don't know. I've not had enough experience to know, to be fair.
What was your least favorite one when you came to my house? Just set it that way.
I hate to say it, but probably the big toad.
Oh, not Gumbo, man.
Like, he's cool. He's really cool. Again, this is what I mean. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I didn't like him, but he's sort of like, he was the least interesting one that I thought.
Yeah,
me,
I get
so,
you. Yeah, I get you.
He's still cool, but yeah, he's probably that. But big cat, my favorite big cat is the jaguar, all day, every day. Yeah. Least favorite is probably my cat. He's a fat bastard, so I think we can count him as a as a big cat. See, chemistry so good here. Well, he needs to be.
Know, Alex. Might get booted off some point, mate.
Sea creature. My favorite sea creature is the shark. I don't know if I've got a favorite species of shark in general. I do like the great whites, but then again, I'm a fan of tiger sharks as well. Why is he coming in thinking? See what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? We're all speaking English here, Will. Least favorite sea creature is the jellyfish. It's a jellyfish. Basically. Food. My favorite food is. I'm gonna go for. See, the thing is, Dan said steak, and that's a good one. But I've always said that if I could only have one more meal, it would be a Chinese. And again, the Americans are going to go, a Chinese? What does that mean? Give it a rest. Yeah, they don't understand. But yeah, Chinese, least favorite is any sort of vegetables because I'm a heathen. Yeah.
What's going on, Oz?
What's going on, Zach? You good, mate?
Right.
So yeah, that's me done.
Okay, that's interesting. So we'll go back to this question. Where is it? Why are corn snakes your least favorite? Because I had a corn snake and it was an absolute prick. So every time it was very defensive. It's probably because obviously this is my experience with corn snakes. Not saying all corn snakes are bad, just that was my least favorite. Every time I opened the viv, it's coming straight at me, trying to bite me. I don't know what happened in its previous home, but you know, tried my best, and yeah, so it's gone to my dad now. So my dad's, you know, working with it quite closely, so it's getting a lot better. What else we got?
Dan, in answer to what you said, they do, but they have Chinese food, but they don't refer to it the same as we do. It's like when we say, I've had it with, I speak to a few Americans in different hobbies. Obviously, this one, my aviation hobby, I've speak to some Americans, and every time I say I'm getting a Chinese, they're like, What does that? What do you mean you're getting a Chinese? And then the usual answer is, "What's his name?" And you're like, haven't heard that one before. So yeah, they say, we'll go for Chinese food, whereas we say we're getting a Chinese, and they've just all of them they've always gone, what does that mean? Like, I'm having a full English. I've said that to one of them before as well, and he's gone, I don't know what you're talking about. It's mad. It is quite funny though.
Americans also think that Chinese people eat dogs, but
well, yeah, there is that.
Also, yeah, that is a me problem. Going back to that one, yeah, you probably have a good judging character. So yeah, the next question is, this is from Serenity Dragons. Sent me this morning. I want to know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how betrayed did Riddler feel when he saw you in Crocs? I'll let you take the floor with this one, mate.
I mean, there was too many times that you got involved in the slipper gang and croc gang thing. Yeah. And you were always back in the slippers. And I was like, all right, we've got another one on the team. We got another one on the slipper gang. And then when I turned up to your house and you were wearing Crocs, I was like, you're a liar. I will never be able to trust you ever again.
Sorry, Paul. Where was it? Where are we looking at? What are we looking at? Carry on.
Unless he means, did he send them to you on Instagram, maybe?
Don't know. Some of that. Can't see any.
See, Gary is both Croc gang and now Indicus gang as well.
I paid a fence. Yeah, apparently I paid a fence. Oh, yeah. Where are these questions, Paul?
Shout out Dan. Shout out to Dan. He's a real one. Dan, if I
right, yes. Okay, so this question. All right, so I was trying to find out if I can get a caiman lizard from somewhere. Yeah, there's a reason for it. Okay. I want to get a caiman lizard because they can cohabitate with redfoot tortoises.
That's not really a reason to get a caiman lizard, though.
I love caiman lizards as well, so I do love them. I think they're really majestic, lovely bright colours.
You've been telling yourself off for buying too many animals recently. Like, you've literally been like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, so, no, that was just, so I put in a group chat yesterday, how much did they roughly go for? So I was chatting around trying to find out a price. I'm not definitely going for one yet. I've still got to sway my missus first. So
who are you gonna sell in order to get it?
Space wise, it'd have to probably be, don't know. I could fit it in the living room, I think. Be fine.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that is very true. This is another thing I'm doing my research on. It will need probably half a room. And that answers my question. So so the reason I'm putting a tortoise in the vivarium is that the tortoise I have is very high humidity dependent, and obviously you can't really do humidity on a tortoise table. But I don't know if anyone can give me any advice on a redfoot. Like, I literally just got it dropped on my doorstep, so I can't really say I did my research for what happened because it just turned up on my doorstep. But yeah, any advice is very appreciated. To sell a kidney, I have two, so I guess I can get rid of one.
I don't know how much they go for, to be fair.
In the chat, it's around 1,000 to 1,300.
No, I meant kidneys.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, so that is the plan. So I'm going to try and get a bigger Viv built. So I'm going to try and span this whole room 11 by 5 by 4. Because we are.
There you go. Alex has got you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Let's give it a whole ass room. Yeah. So the plan is to go go 11 foot long, 5 foot tall, 4 foot deep until I move house in a few years. So we are planning on moving, and then obviously this one here I will be buying one like a purpose made melamine vivarium because I'm not going to put effort into building the whole thing in the room, and they've got to move house. So, well, we are looking to move in a few years down to your way, actually. So, I want to move close to my mother.
All right, okay.
So that is a plan soon. So this room, I'm hopefully trying to find a place with a big garage. Fingers crossed I can find somewhere in a garage, but
yeah,
it'd be nice. Okay. I mean, funny. As you said, you can put anything in the rack if you're brave enough.
Oh yeah.
We don't like racks here anyway. Yeah. So the next question on the list was, this is from RDJ. This is just for you.
Jay himself. How many times do you normally change your hair in a video? Listen, it's very dependent on how long it takes me to film a video. So, for example, with a couple of my projects of building Vivs, that build took probably a good month or so. Although, what was the one that I ended up? Because there was one I released recently that I had about 3 different length like haircuts in there. Which one was? I think that was upgrading all like my reptiles, because obviously that took me a bit of time. Because obviously, as we know, Paul came down to mine, and then with the solar meter and things like that, we figured out basically that my UVB was
not working.
And it basically that my setups needed improving. So obviously I started doing them slowly, little bit here, little bit there, obviously filming as I went along. So yeah, so that one I'm pretty sure I ended up having it like bald halfway, all the way, bald again, and then but yeah, so it's I try not to do it too much, but how long did it take to clean up the foam bits? To be honest, I'm still finding bits now. I'll do that, and like a load of polystyrene will fall out of my beard. So it took me a little while. That was an absolute pain, but I had to make sure it was clean before my hormonal pregnant wife got home. You should go baldy again. It may be inevitable. It's not set in stone. At the minute, we're still looking all right, but I know that if it ends up getting to the point where that's just not playing ball anymore, I'm going to go bald, and I won't look like too much of a gimp.
It's all right, mate. I reckon the bald actually suited you.
I appreciate that.
Next question is also from Jay. This is also just for you, because it ain't for me. Where did the name Riddler Reptiles come from?
Oh, God. You know what? I've been waiting like a long time for someone to ask me this, because
I already know what it is. I'm a big fan.
Oh no, yeah, that's what it is. But the reasoning behind it, I'm still not really sure why I did it. Do you know what I mean? Like I remember because me and Jacob basically said, yeah, we're gonna join together, do a collaboration. Not that he gets involved anymore, the bastard. And basically I was trying to come up with a name, and it was gonna be something Reptiles. You know what I mean? I thought of Ravishing, but then I thought that's a shit name. I was basically trying to come up with different like something Reptiles that both began with R. And then I don't know why, but the idea came to me that I was like, something Reptiles, blah, 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 Riddler from the Batman.
Yeah, man.
Literally, that's it. I have no idea. And I thought, I could make the logo a question mark, as you can see, that's got a snake and a gecko, and I can do that. It's not an interesting story because there's not really much background to it. It's literally just a case of I thought it sounded cool and I might be able to do something with it. There was a period of time where I was like, should I change it? But now everyone pretty much knows me as Riddler anyway, so I'm too far gone now.
Yeah, that's the same with mine. Like, it was Viv Visions was basically going to be a business where it was me building custom terrariums, backgrounds for vivariums, sorry. And that was the way Viv for Vivarium and Visions as my vision. But again, I was going to change it when I started doing all this, and then it's just stuck now, so I might as well just keep it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah,
What about the ball python breeder name you had? Yeah, that one wasn't very creative either. That was just Andrew's balls. Which at the time I was like, I bet no one's done that before. I bet that's funny. And then, well, I mean, we had Ben's balls as well.
It was going to be Ken's balls, but
yeah, every man and his dog has done that. I thought I was being funny and original, but yeah.
We've got a question from Paul. Who do you look up to in the space?
Who do you look up to in the space? What space? What?
I don't know that as a question.
Well, as in the reptile hobby, who do I look up to in the reptile hobby? I think that's what. Because for a second I was like, I don't know why. I just glanced at it. I was like, I thought he said, "Why do you look up in space?" And I was like, "Am I? Do I keep looking? Am I looking up in space? Who do you look up to in the space?" I'm assuming that means in the reptile hobby. Well, the reptile hobby, you didn't. That answered that. To be fair, Paul, you are one of them. I do look up to you in the reptile hobby. There's no two ways about that. Brad from Brad's Bioactive Builds, I see what he does, and it is just unbelievable. And he is very much a guy that does bigger but less animals. And I think that's incredible. And we could all, learn something from that.
Yeah.
There's a few. There's quite a few. I'm not going to sit here and name everyone, but Paul, in all fairness, I do look up to you in the hobby without a doubt. But there's a few sort of there's some good ones. There are some good. I don't think we're short of people to look up to in the hobby, which is quite nice.
Yeah. So for me, would be Paul. He's helped me a long way, helping my lighting and stuff. Whenever I've got a question, he's always there to answer it. So I appreciate you. Also, watching a lot of Brad stuff as well. His builds are epic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Alex because but Alex is good as well. I love his green tree python content. Some good stuff. Makes me very jealous. So I was reading the comments. This from Gary said Andrews and Ben's balls would have been the best collab. And then he put where is it?
Smash together. Leave it to Gary. If he wants to go for round 2, slide into my DMs. I'll be up for that, Ben.
So we go to the next question. Sorry about my finger keeps going past the camera. It's just really annoying. Okay.
That one's easy, Michael. But we'll get to that in a minute. Or do you want to do it now?
I'll tell you what. We're just 2 seconds. I'm still getting used to all this live stuff. There we go.
Yeah. For me, YouTube all day, every day.
Yeah.
All day. I like Instagram. Instagram's good. But I just really, really enjoy YouTube. I much prefer the long form content. So yeah, I'd definitely go for YouTube. Again, I don't mind Instagram, and it's when you're putting together like a 30-second reel or something like that, it's all right. You can do it pretty quick. But I think YouTube's better. I like the long form. I like the editing. I like the filming, the building, and I don't know. It just seems like a better place as well. I've got a lot less shit from YouTube than I have from Instagram. So yeah, I'd go with YouTube.
Yeah, that's the same with me, really. I enjoy editing the long form content better than making a 30-second reel for Instagram. I mean, I do enjoy it. I get more interaction on Instagram than I do YouTube.
Yeah,
but doing the Instagram a lot longer.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer that question, I would rather be YouTube famous and just cancel my whole Instagram account. But, if I was getting monetized and I was making loads of money off of it, it would be my dream job. But it would never be that that big. But okay, so apparently I said YouTube, and then Will put no. But
point.
So where was it? There we go. So I had a question from Miss A Hart. What was your first reptile?
Leopard gecko. I had one at first. and I kept him. Actually, to be fair, the enclosure size was pretty good. And then, but the problem is it was the incorrect substrate. It was the incorrect heating. It had a red bulb in it. It was awful. But this was what, about 12, 13 years ago, maybe, so or something like that. But yeah, I had no idea. I built the Viv myself. I got the stuff from the reptile shop that I was told to get, and I whacked him in there. And then a friend of mine apparently had leopard geckos as well, and he said, "Do you want a female?" And I said yes. So I cohabbed a male and a female leopard gecko as well. So again, I had no idea. Like, don't get me wrong, this isn't me saying, "Oh yeah, lovely job." I had no idea. So yeah, those were my first ones. Was a pair of leopard geckos.
Okay, so technically speaking, my first reptile was the Burmese python, and I was 12 years old. My dad used to breed bearded dragons. I think I mentioned this before in another podcast with Ben. So my dad used to breed bearded dragons and frill dragons back in when I was like 11. So for my 12th birthday, I went to the reptile shop and I picked up a 10-foot Burmese python, female, but she was really fat. So someone just handed her in. They feeding her like a rabbit every 2 weeks. She'd been fattened up, and when she died about last year, she was about last year she was just under 18 foot. So she was a big snake. And that made my mind up. I know I got burned myself now, but I would never ever buy a snake that big ever again.
Yeah.
Maybe. The only reason I got these two Burms again is because I rescued them.
Yeah.
The one I'm now having to take to the vets back and forth now because she's not eating. She's losing weight.
Yeah.
So the other Burm's gone to my dad's today, actually. So we got some more space.
Nice.
But yeah, so she was colossal. Like I mean, find a photo. But yeah, she was humongous. She 2 seconds. There we go. That was her in the bath.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's a big old snake. That
it's a big old snake. But yeah, I don't really agree with having them in captivity. I know I own one. Again, I sound like a hypocrite, but yeah, this is my missus' snake. It's not mine, so I ain't got a choice.
I'll say you're putting the blame on her instead.
Yeah.
She's not here to defend herself. You just can't.
She'll be watching. I can guarantee you she's watching.
Oh, so she's going to shout at you from upstairs. Are you?
Oh, she's currently in the car at the moment. She's gone to pick up me some vivarium, so she'll shout.
Right. Okay.
Next
It's
question
coming either way.
Was from Jane Way the corn snake.
Hey, Natalia.
This will be a good one. Beginner mistake. Oh, go on. You read out. Go on.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, just what beginner mistake can we all avoid? It's a good question. It's a very good question.
Beginner mistake can we avoid? Go on.
Falling into biased research. So I fell into that with the Royals. I ended up researching why do they do well in racks, not should I keep them in racks, which meant I kept snakes improperly for 2-3 years. So yeah, I'd say that one. Don't buy loads before you get. That's a very good one.
Yeah. What was it? So what beginner mistake? Yeah, again, I agree with Paul on that one. Don't buy loads. Unfortunately, I had no choice again because I got most of the stuff dumped to my doorstep. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but yeah. But other mistakes, again, don't just run into it and buy an animal and not doing your research. That's a big one. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just going to use it as an example. So when I obviously picked up Diesel, I've been wanting one for 5 years. I say this every podcast, but I did loads of research. I know how big they get. So I am in my end. That's it. Always think of an end game with your animals. Don't always think about the start game when you buy this tiny little snake and it's, 2 or 3 foot long, and then it turns into something that's 18 foot long. Always have your research backed up and ready. That's about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, some questions here. So, what's your realistic goals for YouTube and Instagram 2024? I for the Instagram, I let it just grow at a steady pace. I'm not looking to push it further. I'm happy with how it is. YouTube, I would like at least, if with realistic, 300 subscribers, and just a good, revenue of likes and comments and stuff. Just get it out there, really. I'm not hoping for anything extravagant. I don't want to say I want to get 1,000 subs. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, yourself?
I'm bordering 2K subs, but I'd like to hit 2.5, hopefully. Obviously, I'd hope for higher, but realistically, it'd be nice to hit 2.5. I'd like 3K, but to do just over 1,000 in a year is possible, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to set it at 2.5 and take it from there. Instagram, I'm on 400 and something, 450, 460. If I can hit 1,000, but then to be fair, I've done that 450 in 2 months. No, 3 months.
Yeah.
So maybe 1,500. That wouldn't be bad. Let's go 1,500 for Instagram and 2,500 for YouTube.
Yep. So we got another one here from Alex. So much conflicting and incorrect information out there. Yes, there's a lot of incorrect information. So I'll give you an example. I'm not going to name the shop where I went to, but I went into a shop 2 weeks ago when I picked up my new frogs, and they rightfully so, they questioned me about my husbandry for the frogs. Okay, so they said, what you putting them in? I said, there's going to be a 90, 45, 90 for 4 white street frogs. Got to show them the setup. It's already set up downstairs anyway. YouTube video on that soon. But when I went to look at the frogs in the store, they had them in a glass tank with a red heat bulb in it and a dome. And it was not on the top of it, it was in the tank.
Oh, right.
No guard on the bottom of it either.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not naming the shop. I'm not saying that, but I know they asked me for my husbandry and stuff like that. But do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. But there is a lot of conflicting information out there. And I know that's not related to that question, but I was just basically saying that they had not enough knowledge to be selling these animals. But then they're saying that they could be housed in if you wanted to put one in a 30, 45 on its own. And they need a lot more space than that. So, yeah, what do you think on that one?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think that was going along with the beginner mistakes. I think that's what Alex was heading towards. That's more what she was saying is the beginner mistakes that we can avoid is seeing the conflicting and incorrect information. So just being careful of your sources, I guess.
Yeah, there's a few places around here where I wouldn't even touch a 10-foot barge pole. But there's a few shops that I like going to. If I got to go, like obviously slivering, I go miles. I travel over 2 hours there and 2 hours back to go look at stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going up there in a couple of weeks. I might pick up another frog, but it's I love my frogs in a minute. I'm loving them. So much character in each one of them. So get good like Matt, and you'll get 5K in 5 days.
He's had a real go supersonic. It's literally he's done. It's great. It's really good. It's class.
Going back to the realistic goals. I want the Instagram. If it's necessary realistic goal, I want to hit 2,500 followers on Instagram by the end of the year.
What you want at the minute?
At the moment, I'm just 1,760.
Okay.
It's doable, but again, I'm not saying it'll happen. Like, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the poor whites, man. Like literally, So say the bulb was like here, they were like at the far end against the glass, trying to get away from it. But I can't. Everyone's got to start somewhere, but there has to be some sort of standard,
Oh, actually, to be fair, I'll have to. It didn't fly out, but I did feed Freddie's black tree monitor. I'll have to upload that one.
Yeah, I would love a tree monitor, man. But I want everything. So yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not going.
Yeah, me neither. I'm gutted. To be fair, I am gutted. But next year, hopefully. I selfishly, between myself and my missus, decided to get pregnant, and she's now a few weeks away from giving birth. So I probably can't go too far at the minute. So, which is a shame, but it is what it is. There's always next year. It's not going anywhere. So I'm excited to hear about it from you lot that are going. I think that'd be quite cool. But yeah, unfortunately, I won't be making an appearance, which is a shame. I enjoyed it last year. It was really good.
Are any of you boys vlogging AHH this year?
Good question.
I'll wait for that to come through. Let's how are we doing,
Mr. Bailey's backgrounds. What's going on, Geese? Nice to see you.
Yeah, so that's why it's important for people who actually know to educate to help. Yeah, that's very true.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess he's on about geckos. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not in the gecko gang at the minute. I would like some like these little dwarf geckos that Paul has. They're pretty sick.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Question was from my partner. Actually, she gave me this question.
Okay.
So if you could each own, that's a mistake. If you could each own one of each other's animals, not Diesel or Ragnar, what would it be?
That's good. That's a good question. That's a very good question.
I'll let you go first.
To be fair, I would immediately go for Steve Biaki.
She said you would go for that one.
I would definitely go for Steve. I really want an Aki at some point, and it's coming. Maybe not. Well, maybe this. I don't know. We'll see. I definitely want at least an Aki. I think it'd be sick, and obviously Steve was cool. So yeah, if I was to have any of yours, it'd be Steve the Aki.
You should. There's a video on my story. I don't know what he was doing because I didn't really know Aki.
Well, I saw that. Yeah.
I think he was trying to court my missus.
Yeah.
So I better watch out because Steve's on the prowl. So one of your animals, if it's not Ragnar, me and Ragnar ain't friends after last time I visited.
Yeah, there is that.
You'll see that on the video on Tuesday. I'd have to go with Delta, mate. Your Tokay.
Yeah.
I love Tokays, mate. I think they're sick. But I'd love to have one, but I just don't know where I put it.
Well, watch this space because hopefully I should have a pair of them soon.
Get on, Mr. Riddler. Yeah. Andrew's Tokays. Love it.
Andrew's Tokays, yeah.
Ember Bees taking isopods.
Yeah.
I need to get with the no man. Like, I am rubbish with all this stuff.
Yeah, no, they're cool. Ember Bees are quite nice. I know. I'm sorry, Alex. Sorry. She invited me to her birthday party, but I literally cannot do it. It's too far away. My missus is far too pregnant for me to be going that far for a party. If you're having another one next year, Alex, I will do my absolute best to do so. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't this year. I'm missing out on a few things this year. I'm a bit gutted, but
right. So I am actually right. So okay, this is a good one. Another one for my partner. If you could go anywhere herping in the world, where would it be?
Australia. Like, I know you've got Indonesia and things like that, and you've got some nice areas. And I know Alex, as in Ravishing, is going to be there going, why not come to Florida? Sorry, mate. I apologize. But for me, Australia, he's turned up. In August. I am keen, but whether or not I can do it is another question.
I do want to go to Ham this year, but again, they're not for me.
Yeah. But yeah, so it would be Australia without a doubt. I watched obviously Beach's Scaly Beast and Frizy. They were doing their little trip. Obviously, I speak to Ozherps, Zach, and he said it's sick as well. You're not welcome in Florida, buddy. So yeah, for me, it'd have to be Australia.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. So many places I want to go and see. Definitely want to go to Indonesia for sure, like Sumatra, Indonesia. But the little islands, stuff like that. Yeah. It was only one. It's only one place. So yeah, Indonesia.
Yeah, cool.
What would you do as secondary place if you go somewhere else?
I nearly said Florida, but again, because Mr. Ravishing is there, I wouldn't bother because what's that going to do for me? It's not going to do anything for me. You know what I mean? So, actually, where does Will Exotic live? He's
Maryland.
Maryland. Yeah, I'll go to Maryland. Come to Monitor Fest with us. I can't. I've already told you this. I can't even go to where's Drayton Manor? Where's AHH? I can't remember.
Yeah.
To Drayton Manor. That's like 3 hours away from me. I can't even drive 3 hours away, let alone go to bloody America. It's not happening, geese. Sorry, dude.
Right. Okay. Oh, there's a few more. All right. Okay, then. So, this is a good one. What's the weirdest question a non-reptile person has asked you about your reptiles or keeping?
Weird is a hard one. I'm not sure what the weirdest question is. You've got your usual of when they look at a snake and go, is that poisonous? Obviously, A, you mean venomous, and B, no, because I wouldn't be holding it if it was. But again, people don't know. I'm not having a go. Do you know what I mean? But it's one of those that you do hear quite often. What's the weirdest? I'm not sure what the weirdest is, to be fair. I don't know. It's a tough one because I'm sure I have had weird questions, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Not any that spring to mind, anyway.
Yeah. So the weirdest question I ever had was, well, yeah. So
there you go. Paul's got one.
Yeah. Where is it? Yeah. I wouldn't dare cuddle Diesel in bed. I think he would probably bite my face off if I tried to cuddle him. But I will put that up in a second. The weirdest question I ever got was, right, is the chameleon's tongue slimy? Like when they shoot it out? And I turned around and said, I don't know. I haven't tried pulling his tongue out of his mouth. Or again, the venomous one is that the snake poisonous, even though it's constrictor. But again, people, we try to they're just trying to learn, I guess. It's not like it's I'm not bad mouthing everyone that asks silly questions, but that's what we're here to do: educate people and not slam people. Yeah. Ooh. Cheers, Alex. Thank you for popping in, mate.
Take it easy, geese.
I'll see you in the comments when I do True Tales. So I don't know what's happening with Haberstat. What's going on? Their socials have been popping.
They have.
So
they have been popping.
There's been a suspenseful teaser throughout the week, hasn't it?
It has indeed. And today was the big reveal.
Yes. Poisonous. Yes, poisonous.
Was it? I
don't know.
I thought you were going to carry on with it, and you've just gone, yeah.
Yeah, so they're social.
Poisonous.
Apologies. I'm still getting used to all this live stuff and clicking the buttons and that.
That's all right.
Yeah, the socials have been popping, and it has been the big reveal today. If you haven't already seen it, go check it out on Haberstat Instagram after this, obviously. But yeah, no problem, mate. Look for that endorsement soon. Um, but yeah, so the thing with it's poisonous. I do get that a lot. So people that I know, like, oh, is that snake poisonous? Like, I had it with like Rodney, my rat snake. He does that thing where he poses like a rattlesnake, but he's not poisonous. He's just a threat posture. It is. Is it sizing me up?
Yeah, that's a good
You
one.
get in the tank and just lays next to it. It'll go round you and size you up. It's okay, Fee. Don't worry. It's okay. It's not a problem, honestly. Oh yeah. Next question. So what was you say your question was what? Sorry, the same thing. Is it poisonous?
Yeah, I'll probably go with that. Like I say, I can't think off the top of my head. I'm sure I've had some, but off the top of my head, I can't think of any weird ones that I've had. Like I say, I'm sure I have done, but I couldn't answer that now, to be fair.
Okay, we got another question from Paul. This is a good one. Why do you think keepers always want more when most could do what they have better?
It's the excitement. It's the excitement of having a new and exciting animal. But I've come to the realization personally that you can get just as much, if not more, excitement by upgrading the animals you've already got. Like the feeling I'm getting at the minute looking at this milk snake enclosure. It's like when you get a new animal, you're buzzing. But then it does sort of die down a little bit. I'm not saying obviously you get fed up and bored, but the excitement I get every time I walk past this enclosure, I sit next to it, or the one that I've built, for example, or the beardies in the living room have been upgraded. You get a buzz from it every single time, which is something I've learned. But the reason why keepers want more and new and exciting is for that. They're chasing the excitement. They're basically going, I want that because it's sick. And then they go, yeah. So, yeah, I think that's what it is. It's the excitement, basically.
Yeah, I get that as well. Like,
and it's easy to do. It's a lot more difficult to go out and get a cat or a dog. Like, it's not impossible, but I think it's a lot harder. Whereas if you go to a reptile shop or go on Morph Market, you can have a new animal within hours.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, let's put it into place. So I bought Gumbo. I seen it. It was advertised within 20 minutes. I went and picked them up. It was at my red reptile shop. I've always wanted a bullfrog.
Yeah.
But I didn't want a small baby one. Obviously, I wanted a full grown one. I think Gumbo's a female. Still, if there was some confirmation, but it's 2 years old. Apparently, they're by 2 years old. They're a pretty big size for male. So
yeah.
But again, looking back to what this is. So yeah, keepers always do want more. Like you said, is the excitement of excitement of getting a new animal. But again, now that I've started upgrading them to bigger tanks, that's making my hobby a bit more better and more exciting. Just upgrading these animals into bigger enclosures. I think that's the goal from now on. I always said about getting a caiman lizard, but it's just a dream at the minute. I want Pristina, somewhat, all this stuff. It's just never going to happen. Welcome back, Ben. I think it's been going well.
That's better.
But yeah. So another question from Paul: how do you define a rescue?
A rescue is taking an animal out of a less than ideal situation. Preferably no money exchanged, I would say, as a rescue. I mean, sometimes there's like a rehome or rescue fee, I guess. But I think the term rescue is thrown around quite a lot. So some people will say they rescued a snake or a leopard gecko from a reptile shop or a pet shop, like one of these, like in America, PetSmart and blah, blah, blah. I rescued it. You haven't. You've purchased it. And that money will go into getting another one. Yeah. So I think a rescue is taking an animal out of a less than ideal situation to give it a better home. Is probably there's probably more to it than that, but the basics, I'd say it's probably something along those lines.
Yeah. So in my experience, rescues have been something that's been dropped on my doorstep. For instance, I put it in something that's come with, and then I've upgraded it, fed it, and then tried to find it a new home. So when I ask for money, it's a rehoming fee and what I pay for the food, the electric, and my time. Not necessarily my time, it's more like the electric and the food that I put into it. If that makes sense?
Yeah.
So, but again, like, the geckos, like I just moved them on to new homes. There's two, I think it was two sisters that wanted some leopard geckos, and I get pictures all the time from them saying, "Oh, they're amazing, they're great, thank you." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, brilliant. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying them." But when 3 of them in like 4-foot beds, it takes up a lot of room. We kept one of them, and because my girlfriend really likes him or her, I'm not really entirely sure, but yeah. So that's my definition of a rescue. There is a lot of people that run rescues, and they try and charge a lot more than it should be. But again, it's the time, the money, it's the time and money they put into feeding the animal, I guess, and electricity. But yeah. Right, next question. So I was rambling on then for a second. Right, yeah, this one's from Frizy. One thing you could change about the hobby.
One thing you could change about the hobby. That's a good one. That's a very good one. What would I change about the hobby? I think, you know what, it's a tough one, but I'd probably go for the bitterness and the conflict that happens between the way people keep, like, and the fact that it's the way they do it is the right way of doing it. And there's the art. I mean, it's the same can be said with a lot of things, but the art of conversation has gone. Yeah, pretty much the drama. It's a case of you can't really almost voice an opinion sometimes, or you can't offer advice because someone will go, no, that's wrong, and they'll just lose it, and there's no conversation. So yeah, I'd probably go with that.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, again, I agree with Ben. The drama. Everyone. Some people don't want to help other people. Some people like to gatekeep things. Some people don't want to help. Like, I'm lucky to have a group of people around me, like yourself, Paul, Ben, all these people that want like to help out. But then you reach over across the pond sometimes, and like people doing stuff in America, they don't want to help. Or some people, certain people in the hobby that in certain pages, certain people text people, they don't want to help you. And I just think that it's toxic, and I think we should all just come together and unite. We're under enough pressure as it is at the moment.
Yeah.
I think we all just need to be more happier, and just share our thoughts, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's how I would change the hobby anyway. This is a good one. The best reptile invention.
Best reptile invention. Okay. That's a good. I mean, is that outside of like UV lamps? I don't know. I guess not. I guess that's
anything.
Technically speaking, I'd probably go UVB. Yeah, I'd probably say that because it's so beneficial. Because you can. I know it's not optimal, but you can get heat from heat mats. Whereas you can't get UVB from heat mats. So I'd probably go UVB. Yeah.
Yeah. So the best invention so far today, I have to say Luminize, because I love Luminize. I think it's amazing. But also, like, best invention has to be halogen lighting. I think anyway. But I love halogen. Most of my stuff's on halogen.
But then, to be fair, that's not really a reptile invention, I guess. I mean, it's included in the reptile hobby, but a halogen isn't.
All right, I'll shut up. Best reptile invention. Actually, Habitat. These one door terrariums are better than the extra terrorists, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Nice.
could, well, okay. So Michael's got a question.
Hang on, you missed Natalia's. It was a really good one.
Yeah, hang on. Where's it? Bear with me. So this one.
Yeah. Our reptile people too weird today. It's funny because those who aren't into the reptile hobby do see, as in at all, because obviously I could say my missus isn't into it, but she sort of is, but isn't. So she sort
Yeah.
of understands it, but she's also an animal lover as well, so she sort of gets it. But when you've got someone that doesn't have any thoughts about reptiles, wants them, keeps them, has ever thought about them, yeah, we look weird. I don't know if we're too weird to date. I know that obviously some people might think so, but it's a really funny question. I really like that. In some instances, yes, some people will see a room full of snakes and lizards and go, "That's messed up. Not going anywhere near that," or spiders and things like that. But yeah, I don't think we are too weird to date, but we can be seen as too weird to date, without a doubt. Like if I was in the dating game now, which obviously I'm not, I'm happily married and whatever. I think if there would be a few that would find out I've got snakes that would go, not keen, not interested, as well as the fact I look like this ugly bloke, you know what I mean? But apart from that,
so I would agree with. So I think I'm very weird. Like I am a very weird person. Like I don't know, but I do agree with this one here. Yes, we are, and I don't want a reptile person to steal my space. Very true. Like again, like my girlfriend's got so many animals that are her own, like the chameleon, the berm, and you know things like that. But I just don't think I can share any more space with her. And I think that we are very weird people, but we're better people than your average Joe. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I think I'm amazing. Like,
right?
But you know,
I've got to give it to you. You're very confident. I'll give you that much.
I like to be confident anyway. Right. Any other questions? Right. So, Michael, this was a question also given to me by Rosie. So we'll combine these together.
If you get your own reptile.
Okay, hang on. No, technically speaking, it's the same question, right?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Go on, you go first. What would you do?
Well, there was. I'd like a combo. I mean, this could probably work for the aquarium hobby as well, but a combo heater and power head, so that it heats the water and circulates it at the same time. Because obviously, at the minute in my fish tank, for example, I've got to have one of each. There's the tube heater, and then you've got an circulation pump. But if you were to have them both, for example, you could just stick one of them in like a monitor lizard's pool or pond, and it'd warm it up and keep it circulating as well. And I think that would be sick. I do think, because I saw that another reptile company who I won't name because big up Habistat, you done know. They released a heater that was circular, and I saw it, and I even commented and said, "Is that a power head and a heat, or was it the heater, or was it a power head? I can't remember. It was one of the two." And I said, "Is it a combo?" And they said no. And immediately I thought to myself, that would be sick. It would just like an all-in-one. Whack it in, heats the water, moves it around. I think that'd be good.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
I think hopefully, I don't know, someone will pull it out of the bag soon. Fingers crossed. Save on space. But Ben's asking, what's a power head?
Like a water circulation thing. Bloody flies. Yeah, moves the water like a wave maker almost.
Okay. Buy an OH filter, says Michael.
Do they have heaters in them? I'm assuming.
Yeah, so some of the OAs, I've looked into them. Apparently, some of them have heaters in them. So if you've got big like stock tanks, you can put an OA filter, it heats the water as well. I believe.
Okay, that's quite cool.
I'm not entirely sure. So okay, another question from Frozy. I don't know. Do you have a local reptile club?
Not that I'm aware of.
So, quick question. That's another good one.
Yeah. No, not that I'm aware of.
No, yeah. So I don't. I would like to start one. Like but again, it's the again because Frozy's in Australia, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different over here. Like we gotta have licenses and stuff like that. And do you know what I mean? We gotta have these licenses form. I did record a podcast with someone the other day that does a lot of this. So I'll introduce that one very soon. Going back to products. So we got smart plugs and or extension cables you can set timers on. Are very helpful. Yeah, I wish they would make a product like, so say you had an extension bank, and each one had its own timer on it. You know what I mean? So like instead of having one on, I know you could put those different banks in there, but have you ever tried sticking them together? They don't really fit. So
I've got a smart plug. I can't remember what it's called. Let me have a quick look. But it's really good. It's because it's got an app as well. V-Sync, that's what it's called. So I've got it on here. And then let me have a look if I can show you. Is it going to work? So is it going to work? I don't know if it will because I haven't got any signal. But I've even named it Ragnar's enclosure. And yeah, I can set the time, which is a lot easier because you don't have to go around and set all the dials and all of that. So it's quite good.
Yeah. Ben says he's got smart plugs and they are shit. At least once every 2 weeks.
No, I've never had a problem with mine.
I had a problem with mine. So I had a smart plug on the Chameleon, and I went on a holiday last year. And because it was connected to my phone, as soon as I left the house and the Wi-Fi was off of it, it turned the lights off. So I had to set up on my iPad and leave my iPad there for 2 weeks because I didn't. Yeah, it's rubbish. I like the old-fashioned, the clicky timers. Yeah. I love them more. Those timers are a very good invention. Definitely. I mean, I'd be probably stuck without them, to be fair. You get Wi-Fi extension leads. Okay. Each plug is separately controlled. Send me a link, if possible. Okay. Next question. So do you have a local Reptile club? No. Going again. So would you run one for kids in your area to get the next generation involved? Probably yes, but again, it's down to licensing and money and trying to find someone to run it.
I mean, would I? If you're talking, money and things like that, no object, yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously it's not possible for me at the moment, but if it was doable, I think it would be quite cool, yeah.
Again, it's this thing of like, weighing up between the insurances, everything against the money that you get from it. If that makes sense. Again, like I would love to, do like a thing where you have to pay nothing. If I had all the money in the world, it would be like, yeah, just come along, check out the animals, get educated. But I don't know about you, but I don't have a pot to piss in. So
pretty much.
but yeah, I would love to do something like that. It's like go to like Cubs and Scouts and stuff and try and educate kids. But I don't know. It's just more licensing. There's so many loopholes to jump through.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a good one from Fraser as well. Best reptiles YouTubers. Don't have to blow smoke up my ass, mate. It's fine. Right.
All right. Cheers for telling me that. Again, the first one that comes to mind is Brad's bioactive builds. He's just how that man hasn't got more than the subs. I think he's hit 11K now, if I remember correctly. Definitely 10, potentially 11. But how that man isn't on 50 plus is just unbelievable. He is a great inspiration for me and what I'm trying to achieve on my channel and the way I do things as well. Because he's incredibly humble, especially from like the background he's come from.
Yes, I already have, mate. I'm afraid. Sorry, I did it at the start.
Yeah.
You're the first person to send me questions, so I put them at the beginning. My apologies, mate. If you want me to go through them again, I will, or you catch on with them later.
Obviously, to be fair, it's so obviously you've got Paul's monitors, but the podcast, like your videos are good, Paul. I do like your videos; they are good, but you can see the love and the not excitement, the enthusiasm you get through the podcast. I know sometimes I don't watch them all. To be fair, I apologize for that, but it's work shifts and sometimes they're 4 hours long. Allow me. But when I do see them, it's, you know, you can see the love that goes into it. But obviously my guys, Will Exotic, Ravishing Reptiles, Repti Chat in the building. Take my name out your all right, there is that. But yeah, there are some great YouTubers, to be fair. Frizy obviously is good friends with he did the Australian herping with Beach's Scaly Beasts. Incredible, really enjoyed that. And Luke is a great YouTuber as well. He's got some great stuff. But yeah, just to name a few, really.
Yeah. Again, for long form podcasts, I'm gonna have to go with Paul. I love watching those podcasts. I think they're meant. I do listen to the Spotify ones as well when I'm in bed sometimes. Building stuff, again, Brad and yourself. I do quite enjoy watching your videos, to be fair. Not blowing smoke up your ass, but and yeah, I do enjoy the bar checks, but I don't watch them as often as I do anymore. I used to watch them all the time. Now that I've got my own channel and stuff, you know, I'm trying to push my channel, but yeah, so it's them. But the best, yes, like I said, best for like long form podcasts with Paul. Long form, I do like Ben's stuff as well. I love Ben's podcast as well and his build videos. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. But yeah,
I mean, to be fair, the big ones, because they were more like, I guess, the smaller channels. The ones that I watch that are the bigger ones. I do like watching the likes of Paul Cafaro. He's good.
yeah.
Who else? King of DIY, Joey Mullen, Predatory Fins, Fanatic. So I do quite like all of those. They are good. They're good watches. They are. But obviously, I wanted to big up the smaller channels.
You can go whatever you want. I was supposed to go to the pub tonight, but I forgot I had this with Riddler. So don't make me jealous. I just want a Stella. But you know, yeah, like yeah, the bigger YouTubers. I do like Paul Cafaro. I think he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I do like watch a bit of Camp Canada now and again.
Yeah, I don't watch him as much as I did, but I did. One that I used to watch quite often was Tyler Nolan, but actually I don't really watch him anymore because I sort of went off of him. I really did go off of him. I'm not going to sit here and grill the bloke, like, not that he's going to see it anyway, but I used to watch him all the time, but I don't. I went off of him and his content, to be fair, but it is what it is. Not for everyone.
Yeah. So basically, the way I watch YouTube videos is whatever's on the top of the For You page, I'll just click on it. Like, I'm not going to go, you know, Brian Bartrek or Paul Cafaro. If something comes up on my page, it's like For You, or I subscribe to that channel, it comes up, I'll click on it.
Yeah.
Again, I'm so busy, so I don't really get time to watch YouTube and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, I do agree with you. You know, Sherpa Design, he is the boy. Like, that's how I started out. It gave me inspiration, apologies, to do the old Viv Vision stuff, which never took off. But I think some of his stuff is awesome. Like that, the Bearded Dragon Viv he built, the Big Tony. Have you ever seen that one?
Nah.
Mate, it was a palace. Like, it was humongous. But yeah, some of his stuff is really good. Like, I do enjoy watching that start to finish. That's like the sort of videos that you watch that like long form content, but you will watch it to the very end. Like, a lot of stuff, like some people watch it and then they'll watch halfway through and then go back to it later. Yeah, she's. I love Beard Meats Food. I think he's brilliant. Okay, so and last question on the list, and he's gone. he's disappeared.
Mr. Ravishing.
Yes, he
Yeah.
bottled. And yeah, I'm gonna put it up here. Banners. So never eat beans again, or say something nice about America every day. Up. And I am gonna say, right, I'm gonna take the reins right now and say I don't like beans. I never like beans. So I'll never eat beans again. Thank you.
Never eat beans again, or say something nice about America every day when you wake up. I had beans today. I went round to my parents' house and we had a fry up, and the last thing that goes on is the beans. You just cover the. I know I do anyway. I cover the fry up in beans, which is why I don't have red or brown sauce. The beans go on there. I'd rather be. I appreciate you, Alex. I love beans. I really, mate. I love baked beans. They're so good.
So
if I had to say, if I had to say something nice about America every day when I wake up, listen, my American friends, I love you. Gary's in chat. I know you're here. I love you. Right. But I just wish you were still part of the colonies. It'd be even better if you were still saying "God save our king." I nearly said Queen there. That would have been awkward. But oh God, I mean, the good thing with saying something nice about America every day is the likes of Gary lives there. Serenity, Natalia. Natalia's there.
The American people are beautiful, right? They are, most of my followers are from America.
Yeah.
But because it's Alex, I was just never eat beans. I just never eat.
Do you know what? I think if anyone else asked that question, I would have said, "Yeah, never eat beans." Oh no, what is it? Or have to say something. Yeah. I'd probably go for have to say something nice about America every day when I wake up. But because it's Alex that asked, I don't want to give him the satisfaction. But then I lose either way.
Yeah. No, to be fair, I would, I think I'd have to say something nice about Americans every day when I wake up, because they are most of my, people that follow me, talk to me all the time. I can't slag them off right now, can I really? So, most of my followers from America. So I gotta be nice to them.
When Natalia said beans is broad, it covers chocolate and vanilla. But I think it's true. But I think he means baked beans. Yeah. He means that's what he's referring to is baked beans. Could I go without baked beans for the rest of my life?
I could, but I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it my last answer. I'll be nice to Americans every day when I wake up. And yourself?
This is much harder than I was hoping it would be. But again, I don't want to give that bastard the satisfaction, because I know he's going to be watching it and go, hey! All right. I tell you what, is that a life worth living? No baked beans. That's what I'm saying, Natalia. This is what I'm saying.
But the thing is, does that mean I can take the sausages out of the beans and eat the sausages, or does that mean because I love beans and sausages, my favorite food.
I'd assume you can do that. Yeah, you just can't have the beans. But again, because I'm sat here and I was just about to go, well, actually, how often do I have them? But it's like when I have scrambled egg on toast, put beans on that as well. When I have a fry up, beans. You know what I mean? They're quite versatile. But I tell you what, I'm gonna be nice. Which is very difficult for me. I hope you all appreciate this. Yeah, jacket potato, beans and cheese, beans on toast. See, Ben is there. Ben gets it. My guy.
Oh no, man! I love. Have you had the new Heinz beans, the spicy beans?
No, I don't do spicy food though. That's the problem. I wouldn't get on with them.
Tikka masala, vindaloo flavored beans, man.
But it's like when I go to KFC, I always get beans on the side as well. When it's like the barbecue beans.
I I'm the gravy guy. You know what I mean, I have a gravy.
I do like the gravy. To be fair, that wouldn't be the worst compromise
It
in the
has
world.
to be the thick gravy, not the runny gravy. I
Yeah.
can't. If I wanted runny gravy, I'd just pissed in it myself. Yeah, Ben's a gravy fan too. Gravy.
Shit.
Yeah, she's a spicy.
Right, so I'll keep beans, which means that I've got to say something nice to Americans every day.
Yeah, I'll double that as well.
Yeah.
Jacket potatoes aren't as common in the US. Huh.
I didn't know that.
I mean, it is an English cuisine. I think jacket potatoes. I mean, America is mostly burritos and tacos, but so that's all the questions. You got any questions for myself?
Not off the top of my head, mate, to be fair.
Anyone got any questions in the chat?
All right, where do you see Viv Visions in 5 years' time?
In 5 years?
Hang on, wait, just quick. You've got. It took me a second there, but
there you go. This is
I do need to trim my beard. I've been meaning to do so for probably about a week or two now, but I just can't be bothered, and it's really lazy. But
have you seen the question now?
Yeah.
Oh my god. So,
but yeah, if he wants some trimmings, Danielle, I can send him some in the post if he really wants.
Propagating in my face.
Yeah. But yeah, so what's going on, BH? So yeah, where do you see Viv Visions in the next 5 years?
That is a correct statement. New house, new garage. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I would love that, but I have to talk to the boss about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should have to be done.
Yeah, that trim it I would do, but I'm not shaving it off.
I would
for charity.
£500 to shave that beard off.
It's not happening. This thing is my entire personality.
I ain't got 500, mate. So you're right.
Yeah.
5 years time. So new place. Hope fingers crossed. A couple of breeding projects on the go. Don't know what yet. Or like a big place where all the animals go. I love to be a kids organizer show, things like that. That's the dream. 5 years.
Like old Jurassic Ark.
Yeah, like I like that bloke. I think he's got quite some good enclosures, Jurassic Ark.
Yeah.
Even though it's yeah. Right. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'll donate to that fund. Shave the beard off, and then Daddy will pay for the setup if we shave it.
Oh, that's outrageous.
And I'll chip in for some decor. How about that? There you go. And it's now on record. So
no, but the problem is you got to find the Prasinus first. Like, it's all good having the enclosure for it, but
I'm pretty sure someone will donate a Prasinus. We know how much your beard. There you go. Have a stand.
I know a guy.
No, yeah, that's what I see myself in 5 years. What about you?
To be honest with you, it's not what I see happening in 5 years, but it's what I would like to happen in 5 years. I'm hoping, I mean, it's very ambitious, but in the next 5 years to be at the point where I can basically
there we go.
Survive chipping on a green tree. Oh Christ!
And can say about this.
Yeah.
GoFundMe's up and everyone's chipping in. We're all sponsored green tree, but I want an offspring.
Yeah, so I don't know how realistic it is, but I've always been quite ambitious, and I will stick to that. I would like to be at the point where my YouTube and reptile hobby sustains me, like my life as such. So I'm not saying I want to be rich and famous and 1 million subscribers and I mean, it'd be nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not going to happen in 5 years.
No.
But I would like it to be the point where I can down my tools and do that as a living. So
Yeah, of course.
Again, I don't know how realistic that is for 5 years. I do have to plug away and do what I'm doing. Luckily, I enjoy it. I'm not doing it just for that. But it would be nice. That would be nice. Or worst case, I say worst case scenario, but more realistic plans. I'd like to have a male rudicolis. Maybe try and start a rudicolis breeding project, which would be sick. And like Ben has said, is there any update on the conservatory? Yes, that should be happening this year. Okay, I really have to go. Nice check.
See you later.
See you later, Alex. Take it easy.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, bigger reptile room, bigger enclosures for everyone, update my husbandry, get everyone to where they should be, and hopefully get myself in the hobby to the point where I can survive off of it, essentially.
Yeah, agreed. That's so from now on, like, I do joke about buying animals and stuff like that, but realistically, everyone's husbandry needs to be updated here. Like, I need to start updating husbandry for sure. But yeah, that's my 5 years. So yeah, the conservatory. What's going on then?
Yeah, so I need to sell. Essentially, I'm going to be selling my camera setup. So it's a camera body and 2 lenses, big lens and and a bit of a smaller one. Selling that, as long as I get the right price for it, should fund the actual build. It'll be enough to insulate, sort out the room. I don't know if it would be able to build me a couple of more Vivs, but it should be enough just to get that room insulated and ready to be a reptile room. So hopefully, as long as I can sell that camera, then hopefully this year.
Another question from Ben. Riddler, would you want social media to provide the income, or would you breed in animals to help too?
I guess it depends on the species, because obviously I'm hoping to have a breeding pair of tokays soon, but that's not going to be able to afford me anything. I could sell a baby and it might pay for a month's worth of food or 2. So, but then if I was to nail breeding rudicolis, captive bred rudicolis would go for a good amount of money, I assume. If I was to get a breeding pair of Prasinus, we know that you can sell them for good money, but I don't want to make a career out of breeding animals, because you're too reliant on them. I know I did before anyone sent for me. I was going to get royals and I was going to breed them and have the best morphs and live a life of luxury like old Canova and whatnot does. But obviously I've seen the light and changed my way. So I wouldn't want to rely on the animals, but if they help, if they add towards it, then fine. But I want the social media to be the income. So yeah.
Yeah, I got a few things lined up, but I'm not pushing for it. If it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna go. I'd love to breed back dragons, but again, there's no one realistically that's just gonna go, yeah, I'll buy one off you. Or the same like there's people like the tree monitors are more handable. They're more not handable. Sorry, they're more full package. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Whereas a black dragon or a rudicolis, they're big monitors, so it's going to be. I don't know. It'll happen. It probably won't happen, but I would love to breed black dragons. But
maybe one day, mate.
Yeah, when I got my big old facility. But
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it would have been Ken's balls. That's what the plan was. Yeah. All right. So we already know your dream. What's the top 5 go to? Like, if you go to a shop now and buy 5 lizards, what would they be?
5 lizards.
Yeah. So if you were going to go into a shop and like there was a shop and it was like about a mile long and there's every type of lizard you can think of in there, what would you buy?
Prasinus, obviously. Another Rudy. An Aki. And then let's go for something a little bit more. Oh, a Bell's Phase lace monitor. The thing is, there's loads of them. It's not even like I'm sat here going, "Oh, I don't know 5 lizards." What would that 5th one be? That's a tough one. I do quite like the rhino iguanas, to be fair. I think they're sick. I think they are cool.
Yes.
I'll go with that. Otherwise, we'll be sat here all night.
Okay, number 1, sailfin. Definitely, I love a sailfin dragon. Number 2, McCrae.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely dream monos. Number 3, Lygodactys Williams eye, blue day gecko. Yeah. Yeah, Dan. If everyone in the comments, put your top 5 lizards as well. Let's see what we've come up with. But yeah, so sailfin, McCrae, Williams eye. I'm gonna go through it. If I could own any lizard, no matter time, money, legalities, a marine iguana. Do love marine iguanas, even though they would need like the whole ocean, but they're not some captives. And I'm gonna say, because I do like them, the blue tongue skink.
Yeah, nice.
I do. When I seen Dominator, I came to your house.
Dobson, Dobinator.
King Dobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like blue tongue.
Yeah, they are cool.
But yeah, that's my top 5. So snakes, and this is venomous, non-venomous, constrictor, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have venom. Again, I adore the venomous. I think they're incredible looking, but I wouldn't own one personally. I mean, if you're talking, if I could have it in an enclosure that I don't, if I could get someone else to maintain it for me, then a Gaboon Viper would be top of that list.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I'm going to stick with non-venomous, so snakes that I can actually handle and that I'd look after. So Brazilian rainbow, green tree, white-lipped,
the Alberts.
Yeah. What else would I go for? I do like the Mexican Black Kings. They're cool. And probably a mangrove.
Okay, again, anaconda. Love anaconda. Venomous snake, I love them. Blue and Solaris. Come over Pet Viper. They are beautiful. I know venomous snakes don't really belong in everyone's collection. Like if it's got DWA, fine. But again, some people know how to handle these snakes and work with them. Some people don't. But 3 Guyana Reptile boa. I love the reptiles. Not the red tail, but like the really bright, like hypo skin. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, we'll go back to venomous. I love Mangshangs.
Yeah, they are cool.
Pretty. And then number 5 would have to be the Brazilian rainbow boa. I've seen a fair few in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I have once worked with a dragon snake as well, and that was sick.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that was incredible. That was at the shop.
Is it venomous?
No, it's not venomous, but it doesn't even look real. I didn't even realize it was real. But that was
the grey one.
Sick. Yeah. It literally does look like a little dragon.
Awesome.
That's the one. Yeah. Outrageous thing that was.
Sick. Didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, neither did I until it came into the shop, and I was like, "What the fudge is that?"
So Ben put for lizards: blue tree crocodile skink. That's a good one. Cameroon day gecko, keelback lizard, and beady lizard. I do like a beady lizard. The heliodermas are up there.
Yeah.
But again, it's licensing and stuff like that. Good question from Natalia. What are your biosafety protocols for your collections?
I'm assuming a lot of that is more for when you introduce a new animal into the collection. Now, to be fair, I haven't done so for a while. And I haven't got plans to do so either for a little while. I think if you can quarantine and keep them away from your other reptiles for a little while, then that's your best bet. If you get a new enclosure, or if you get an enclosure from Facebook Marketplace or secondhand, disinfect the absolute life out of it before putting anything in there. Just things like that, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. My bios. So I go by biosecurity, biosafety, whatever. Every animal I touch, I use rubber gloves. Always wear rubber gloves. Quarantine. So the bedroom across the hall is where say I got like animals that come in. So I got my frogs quarantining there right now in a Viv. Anything that comes in goes for at least a 3-week quarantine. Just to make sure that everything's fine.
Yeah.
So the tortoise is going to be moving to a different room soon because again, tortoise is in my way half time. But I don't touch the tortoise first with my gloves and then come in the room. So I would be taught in my place. Yes, Ben, I do change gloves for each animal. Mostly because again, in the quarantine room, everything's quarantining from different places. So I make sure everything's fine before I move on. But again, I don't buy too much to quarantine it in the same room. There'll be a few things from the same place or different places. What about you? Do you use gloves at all?
No. But then I'm not a very hands-on keeper anyway, to be fair.
No.
It's quite rare that I've got anyone out. Like, I just sort of enjoy seeing them. I'll interact with them if they're out and about and they're nearby, or like choice-based handling. So the leopard gecko, if she's near the front of the enclosure, I'll offer my hand. If she buggers off, fine. Otherwise, but yeah, I am fairly hands-off, so I don't really have the need, to be fair.
Yeah. I only, like I say, get the gloves out, handle things, just check things over like once a month.
Yeah.
I don't go like, yeah, come on, come out and play. Do you know what I mean? If I see say an animal looks tired or limpy, I'll check it out. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, I just look at them. You know, unless they need taken out for their clothes to be cleaned and reset.
Yeah, of course.
But other than that, don't really take them out. Really, this room. Obviously, you've held a few things in my house, but that's as much as it's been. Really, I don't really like to handle my animals much. I like to work with them, sit them, feed them off tongs, let them chase the food around, but I don't go handle them. But the bearded dragon's different because he likes being handled. He likes getting on your shoulder, but whereas opposed to a monitor lizard doesn't want to be touched, doesn't want to know anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The chameleon, you've seen how grumpy he is. But,
he was cool
though. Any testing viral bacterial? So when I like collect my animals or inquire my animals, I always make sure that they've had it done first. Some shops do, quarantine themselves and check things out. Some don't. I do always take my animals to the vets when I first pick them up. So I always make sure when I pick up an animal, I'll always arrange a vet appointment before. So they'll be in a quarantine room, and then I arrange an appointment, and then I have the appointment, find out what's going on with the animal, then introduce them to the room. Yeah. It's different. It's thing. Really, I don't. Some people don't do it. Some people just collect and collect and collect, don't they? But I don't know. There's another question that it was an anonymous question come through. Let me just get it up a second. Sorry, bear with me. Where is it? Sorry. Sorry.
No, you're all right. No, I'm just conscious of the time, to be fair.
That's okay. We'll start wrapping up soon. Don't worry.
Yeah, cool.
The last question then will be views on the state the community is going in. This is an anonymous question. What's going on, Aro?
it's weird because there's some days that I see that it's going in a positive direction, and there's other days where it looks like nothing's changed at all. Like I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I've been in the reptile game for years and years, because I haven't. Whilst I had my first reptile 12, 13 years ago, I then went quite a few years without having any. Andrew just moved. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So I'm probably about maybe 4 or 5 years into the reptile hobby again.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm seeing changes and positive ones. The next generation of reptile keepers that are coming in do seem to be thinking more about the animal and the animal's needs as opposed to how many they can get. This, I genuinely mean this, but when we're having more and more women enter the hobby, and it's only doing positives for the hobby as well, and I'm not even just saying that to sound like a simp, it's true. I seem to see that there's a lot more female reptile keepers that care more about the husbandry and the care as opposed to just getting as many as they can. It's not all of them, and it's not all male keepers that want all of the animals, but I can see that as a positive. But there's definitely strides being taken, and the old generation are starting to get told, no, just because you've been doing that for 20 years, it doesn't make it right. You know, we've got enough research, we've got enough to see and to find out about that we can then go, well, hang on, that's nonsense. So there are strides going forward. I think there are days that I do look at it and I go, oh, you're all just arguing amongst yourselves, you're having a go at beginners, this isn't going to help anyone. But in general, I think it's looking fairly positive.
You've taken the words right out of my mouth there, to be fair.
I
could have said it better myself, but I do see some things that can be changed. I'm not going to say what, because it'll just spark up a whole other hour debate. But I think that, yeah, like you said, that the old people are getting told no now. And, you know, the younger keepers and the keepers that, like myself, I've been in the game on and off for 16 years with my father. Whereas, like, I was telling my father some stuff, and he's like, no, we did like this. And like, no, it's changed now. Do you know what I mean? And I just think we just need to unite together and just push the narrative that these animals do deserve a lot better care. And that's all I'm going to say on it. So, before we wrap up, is there any more questions that anyone wants to ask?
Ben has asked, to be fair.
This one here?
Yeah.
Agreeing with that, do you think there's a growing void between reptile keepers and royal keepers? Yes, I do 100% think.
The thing is, since I've taken myself out of the royal game, I don't see it as much. It's because obviously a lot of the time before I was following a lot of rack keepers and breeders and things like that. Whereas instead of just trying to fight it, I've just removed myself from it. So I'm not sure. I don't know what the royal hobby is currently like. I know the market is on its arse at the minute, but I think that can be said for a lot of it. But I couldn't answer about the void between reptile keepers and royal keepers. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't see it as much as a void, but I see it as a very what's the word? Cliche click. Do you know what I mean? A click, that's the word, yeah.
It is very clicky, yeah, there is that. That's true.
Like, you get it, like, as to say, like, people keep some royals in vivariums. Like, you know, you're doing it yourself now. And then some people just think that a draw with a bowl is good for the animal. But again, I'm not judging people doing that. Like, it's not my place to say. Because I'm not the person keeping them in the racks. But, go on. Oh, I thought you were talking, sorry.
No.
But yeah, there's not much of a void, but there is definitely a click in the royal world where like royal keepers and royal breeders like to talk to each other more than listen to other people's opinions. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
One more question, I believe, from Oz. Zach, if you could have someone else's reptile collection, whose would you have? Anyone, like people that we know, or anyone's reptile collection?
I'm assuming he means anyone's.
Right, if it was If it was snakes, I would have Sal's collection.
Yeah.
Lizards would have to be Paul.
Yeah.
I love manga, but I like feisty lizards. And I'd probably have yours as well. I like Ragnar. Ragnar's grown a soft spot on me now.
I must admit, and luckily he's gone now, because obviously the first ones that came to mind were the likes of Paul, Matt, even Dan. Actually, Dan's collection is looking sick. Michael, but I really like snakes, and I don't think any of them have any snakes. Oh no, actually, sorry, tell a lie. Michael's got a couple of royals.
Yeah,
but I do like Ravishing Reptiles. I like what he's got, because he's got some amphibians. He's got a little monitor lizard. He's got God's sake. He's, do you know what I mean? He's got the smaller stuff. He's got a little leopard gecko. He's got what's it? A California king. He's got some really nice animals. Like,
see you later, Natalia.
See you later, Natalia. Thanks for joining. Obviously he's got his green trees as well, so I hate to admit it, and if he does watch this back and see it, he's going to be grinning ear to ear, and he's not going to let me live it down. But yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah,
Michael, I didn't think you had the bread light. What have I just dropped? Oh, thermostat has just fallen off. I didn't think you had the bread light anymore.
Dark frogs, yeah. See,
I didn't know you had them either.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Michael. I had no idea you had those.
Going back to Ben's thing, obviously generalising here, but it seems like reptile keepers are really pushing to better the husbandry at the moment, whereas royal keepers are stuck in their ways. Yeah, very true. But yeah, and then Ben's also said a big fan of Marvel. Yeah, I just didn't want to get in that conversation. Apologies, Ben, but we're getting a bit late. Yeah, he's got a lovely collection, Marv. He also has a peach throat as well. And meerkats. I love meerkats.
Yeah.
What's up, Brad? Nice to see you, homie. Yeah, see, Riddler, you're a fake fan, mate.
Michael, all I see from you is monitor content. I'm sorry.
To be fair, Woobs is a nice green tree, man.
Woobs is a lovely green tree.
Lovely green tree. Matt's collection, yeah.
But then, to be fair, and also Michael does have the pink tongues and the frillies as well, and I love frillies.
To be fair, I thought you were going to say mine, but you know. No one wants this, mate. Too many fucking animals in this house. But yeah, I'm going. Yeah, no worries, Ben. Thank you for tuning in, mate. We are going to start wrapping this up now, actually, because it's close to my bedtime and I've got to go to Torquay in the morning. So
nice.
Yeah, doing a lot of filming and stuff.
Cool.
Right. Thank you for coming on, Andrew. Appreciate
an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the trees too. I mean, if I could have all the colours on the wall, I would. Yeah, I know. My house would be a reptile house. Right, okay. Anyway, thank you for tuning in all. There'll be a new podcast out, self-plug, in about 2 weeks, I believe. Guests will be announced closer to the time. And yeah, catch you all later. Peace out. See you later. Bye-bye. Oh, hang on. Best ever.